Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Parkinson's Foundation's Wellness Wednesdays webinar. Thank you for joining us. We will begin soon. A few things to note, little housekeeping items. All attendees will be muted for the duration of today's program. There will be a short introduction before today's presentation, followed by a live question and answer session with our presenters. You can submit your questions by using the Q&A feature. You can also use that chat feature to let us know where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from Western North Carolina, where my stomping grounds used to be in Tampa, Florida. So anyone from Tampa, shout out to you all, and welcome from all the corners who are joining us around the United States and the globe today. If you have any technical challenges during the webinar, let us know through the chat and we'll respond as quickly as possible. Please know that we are recording today's presentation. I'm going to say that again because we get the question a lot. We are recording today's presentation. You will receive a follow-up email from us with a link to the recording for today's program, and you'll also get additional resources in about a week. So thank you all for joining us. The Parkinson's Foundation is a nonprofit focused on bettering the lives of those living with Parkinson's through improving care and advancing research. Importantly, everything we do is in close concert with our community to ensure that our actions are aligned with the needs and priorities of those living with and impacted by Parkinson's. Parkinson's disease may impact a person's ability to live safely and independently in their home. Adapting your home to create a safer environment can lower the risk of PD-related injuries and allow you to successfully age in place. During our program today, we will highlight home safety as well as practical PD-tailored modifications that you can make around the home to keep you safe and independent longer. PD Health at Home is presented by the Light of Day Foundation, whose generosity has made this programming possible. Thank you, Light of Day Foundation. The Parkinson's Foundation provides weekly education and wellness programs virtually through our PD Health at Home series that includes Mindfulness Mondays, Wellness Wednesdays, Fitness Fridays, expert briefings, and our Spanish language programming, Y Salud en Casa. Making an accurate diagnosis of Parkinson's disease, particularly in its early stages, can be difficult. Our next webinar on May 29th will review the newest criteria for diagnosing Parkinson's disease based on the current understanding of PD. We will also look at emerging technology and advances in research that are helping doctors make a diagnosis or distinguish between Parkinson's and other similar conditions. You can find out more and register for our PD Health at Home programs at parkinson.org/pdhealth. One final announcement before I get into speaker introductions. This week, we are hosting our live Fitness Friday with Punch Out PD. This class will incorporate intervals of high-intensity power movements, such as squats and punches, along with functional strength exercises that support activities of daily living. Both seated and standing exercises will be included, so come join me for Punch Out PD this Friday, May 17th. To begin our formal presentation, we'd like to introduce today's expert presenters. As the head of business development at Senior Proof Inc., Claudia is a certified aging in place specialist and a passionate advocate for the well-being and empowerment of seniors. With a dedicated focus on the senior market in South Florida, Claudia has actively engaged in various community projects and roundtable discussions striving to enhance the quality of life for older adults. Joining her today is CEO Sydney Hughes and founder of Senior Proof Inc. She is a certified aging in place specialist and has over 16 years of construction experience. After experiencing the challenges of caregiving within her own family, she founded Senior Proof to improve safety and reduce stress for caregivers in her own community. Claudia and Sydney, it's such an honor to have you both here today. Thank you for sharing your time.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having us. Well, welcome everyone. My name is Sydney Hughes. I'm the founder and CEO of Senior Proof. This is Claudia Kerzner. If you could introduce yourself, Claudia.
Hi, good morning. My name is Claudia Kerzner, and I would like to welcome each and every one of you to be here in our fall prevention webinar. We are honored to be here with you and for you to share your time with us. On that note, I would like to also thank the Parkinson's Foundation for giving us the opportunity to share our love and passion for the community and for fall prevention. I would also like to give a little backstory on Sydney. Sydney, as you heard, she is our founder and CEO, and her professional accolades are very impressive. But what's really going to give you a good insight into her view of caregiving is the fact that she had to caregive for her dad for a while. And mixing those things together is going to give you a good perspective that is going to be very relatable to all of you. Sydney?
Thank you, Claudia. Again, I'm so proud to be here today, not only because I founded the company out of love and necessity from my father. I founded it really for the caregiver, right? So our mission here at Senior Proof is to create a world where we're comfortable that our aging loved ones are comfortably aging in place. I apologize, there are some Zoom issues here, but my dad really was my first patient. I found him laying on the floor many years ago, and he couldn't get up off the floor. So after picking him up, I realized that he no longer was safe in his environment. And with 14 years of construction experience, I knew I could be the solution to not only him, but to the 36 million people that are falling in their homes every year. You see, the problem is that falls account for over 36 million people getting hurt, right? There's a mental health issue here and a physical issue here as well. So falls are not only accounting for our healthcare systems paying over $68 billion a year, our caregivers are also coming out of pocket over $12 billion a year, right? That's the financial hardship, right? Which also causes the mental health and strain for both the independent senior and the caregiver. But more importantly, the caregivers are also putting in anywhere between 80 hours to 200 hours a month in just caregiving hours. Can you believe that that is almost 2 full-time jobs, right? So when we founded the company, I wanted to make sure that not only were we a resource to our community, but equally selfishly the caregiver that I was as well, okay? My father is no longer with us today, but I always say this mission is bigger than me, it's bigger than Claudia. Really, our goal is to be proactive instead of reactive to the fall. Since founding the company, we have helped prevent over 56,779 falls and counting. We have helped create low-cost and high-impact solutions for our community, especially our low-income families that have no choice but to age in place. So now I'm going to hand it over to Claudia. She's going to walk you through what our safety evaluation looks like. By the time you're done with this presentation, you should feel empowered to do your own safety evaluation in your own home. You should have resources of how to find the help that you need as a caregiver and the independent senior. And we're also going to give you a treat on Amazon finds that you could find easily and readily on Amazon for under $20, right, to create a successful aging in place transition. So Claudia?
Thank you, Sydney. What is a home safety evaluation? A lot of people ask themselves that question. It is definitely not a list of things that are wrong with your home or a list of things that you have to change or modify. It encompasses a couple of things. The first thing is the honesty and the knowledge of your mobility journey, where you are in that journey. It also encompasses your current health, what your future health is going to look like, and finally, last but not least, the state of your home, okay? So here we have John. He graciously is going to let us into his home, and we are going to do an evaluation, and we're going to look and see what is happening in his home and how we can help him age in place the right way. John has a 2-story home, very beautiful. And as you can see, he uses a mobility device, correct? So what we think about as soon as we get to a person's home is accessibility. How is this person going to be able to access every aspect of their homes? For John here, we would need a ramp, which you see at the entrance right there. And now we have given him that first step into his home, correct? Now, how else can we help him? How are we gonna get him through the front door? As you see, older constructions have doorknobs. For John, it's difficult. He has tremors, he has low muscle tone, he cannot handle that knob. So we're gonna give him a lever. And also, for added security, we're going to give to him a keypad so that he has entrance without having to use a key. So keyless entry into his home. We started this evaluation a little late in the afternoon, and we noticed that John has a big backyard and it's kind of dark. So we are adding the outdoor lighting for him to make sure that he is able to see all of his surroundings, get safely to his front door, and enter his home. As soon as we go through the front door, we see that John likes to read and he has a very beautiful home. But what does he have? He has a little bit of clutter on his floors. We have to make sure that floors are free of clutter. He needs at least a 36-inch pathway of movement. And that goes for anyone that is in a mobility device or that is able to, or that has full mobility or compromised mobility. So everyone should have 36 inches of pathway and movement in a room. We are going to look at his furniture, very nice, very modern, but we also have to make sure that he has armrests, correct? For John, he would need to be able to sit comfortably and be able to put both of his feet on the floor. Why? Because that is the catalyst and the leverage for the next movement that you're going to make. If you have both feet on the floor and the next movement is either standing up or moving to the side, you are already tethered to the floor and you are secure, and that movement is going to be easier to make. If you have issues with sitting up, sitting down, if you have issues with balance, then the use of an electric recliner is very important. Why? Because the recliner is going to do the work for you. It's going to lift you up and it's going to allow you to put those 2 feet on the floor, go up and down. So very important to do that. We also noticed in this room that he liked to read, but the lights were a little dingy and it was a little dark in the room. So changing the light bulbs on his light fixtures was a great idea and it worked out for him. But the best thing that we could have done for him, and he was very happy about, was adding can lights to the ceiling. Now he can see every aspect of his room and there are no dark corners there. Now John is going to invite us to the second floor. We are moving along and look at that. He has a stair lift and he uses that stair lift because, as you can see, he is still in his mobility device and that is the best way for him to move up and down that staircase. Let's say that John did not have a mobility device and he had mobility and he was able to go up and down the stairs. What would work for him would be handrails on both sides of the wall. He would need protection going up and coming down. So very important for that. And as you can see, we also installed for him lighting on top of the stairs so that he has full visibility of where he's going, where he's stepping. And when using his stair lift, he's able to see all the controls and he has clear visibility of where he's going. Now we're going to enter his office, as you can see, and I told you before, he loves to read. We included more lights there, but now after playing 8 hours of Candy Crush, he's so tired and he wants to go to bed and he wants to go into his beautiful and zen master bedroom. And as you can see, he's very color coordinated and he has a beautiful room. We added levers to the inside doors as well for him to be able to use. And going with the Zen vibe and the comfortability or the comfort side of this room, we told him and we suggested that maybe he should get a better mattress, one that was up to his height, so that when he's sitting down on that bed, like I said before, he's able to put both feet on the floor, okay? We also suggested for him to use a bed rail. Now, he was a little iffy about it. He didn't want to feel trapped. But as you know, a lot of seniors have to take 5 to 6 medications a night. You never know. You wake up drowsy, you move over the bed, you end up on the floor. And that is something that you want to avoid. But then he also realized very quickly that that bed rail not only protected that nighttime fall, but also was very helpful for him to move and sit down into the bed and get up and move about. So that bed rail is very helpful for many, many reasons. We made sure that he removed all rugs and that there was no clutter and that he has his 36 inches to be able to move around the room. And we gave him better lighting, changed our light bulbs, added those can lights as you see up there. But we gave him a special treat. John has to get up in the middle of the night and he has to use the bathroom. So what happens? Sometimes he's disoriented, he can't see, his eyes are less flexible. So we installed a path lighted way for him from his bed to the bathroom. As soon as he puts his feet on the floor, the light comes up and he's able to see exactly where he is going. So after 8 hours of beautiful sleep, he is awake and now he wants to go use his restroom. And here it comes, beautiful bathroom for John. And when we did the evaluation for John, it's an old construction. It's a house from the 70s and 80s, and he had a really hard time getting through the bathroom door. It was 28 inches. That is about how wide doorways were, and they were built back in the day. And you know, he would go sideways. He would have to get out of his mobility device, have help. He didn't feel independent enough. And to be honest, it was just a fall risk. It was just, it was very risky for him to get into the bathroom that way. So we extended that doorway for him. ADA guidelines tell you that you should have a 36-inch doorway, but in the home, we try to do the best that we can and open that doorway as much as construction barriers allow. So anything from 30 to 32 inches is the perfect width for him to be able to get into that bathroom. As soon as John enters that bathroom, the lights are going to come up. You see the can lights again up in the ceiling. He's not going to have to search around the walls and see where the light is. The light is going to come up for him and he's going to have full visibility of his beautiful bathroom. Having a mobility device, you see we have a sink there. It's a floating sink. And you would think that having a beautiful vanity would be helpful for him, but because he is in a mobility device, he needs full access into that sink to be able to use it properly. So we got rid of his vanity and gave him full, complete access to his sink. Here at Senior Proof, we talk a lot about toilets, and that toilet is our pride and joy, as you see right there. We suggest always ADA compliant toilets, which are about minimum 16 inches, which are going to help you on that movement of getting in and out of the toilet. We also suggest that you install a toilet seat and riser. If you need it, that toilet seat and riser is going to give you an extra 3 inches of height if you need it, and also the rails that are going to keep you safe if you have balance issues, if you have tremors, if you have issues getting in and out of the toilet. As you can see, our toilet rail doesn't have any legs, so it's not an obstruction on the floor. You're able to move freely through the bathroom. And then the golden child on the side of that toilet is our bidet. They're not golden all of the time. Only some of our very, very fancy customers want to have that fancy gold bidet, but it is very helpful. It is helpful for independence in hygiene. It is helpful preventing UTIs. And it's also helpful for the caregiver who, when a person or a loved one may have an accident, and instead of having to drag that person into the shower, probably causing a fall, excuse me, you can actually help and help them feel a little independent and help them clean up with that bidet. So very, very important. John used to have a bathtub. He doesn't have a bathtub anymore. We took it out and we gave him that beautiful shower that you see there. It is easier for him to be able to get in. At minimum, you should have 2 grab bars on your shower, one at entrance and one in the back wall. And then for added security and support, we have the bath chair that is inside the shower. We also have the handheld shower that is attached to the wall, and it's going to always fall in front of you. So you're going to be able to grab, you don't have to get up from that chair. You're never going to have to reach up and grab it. It's always going to be in front of you and you're going to be able to use it. Now that John is ready for the day, he's taking a bath, he's in his bathroom. Now he's going to go into his kitchen and make all of his breakfast. He loves to cook. And for John, what we especially want is for him to have all of the things that he uses most within arm's reach. Kitchens now are very fancy and they have a lot of what's the word? A lot of new technology, thank you, where you can have a pull-down cabinet for easy access. And also for John, super important is to have a shut off on his stove, right? In case he forgets, or in case he has an emergency and he needs to make sure that everything is off all at once, we're gonna provide that for him. If John was not in a chair, what we would suggest for him, especially with low muscle tone and muscle issues, would be for him to prepare his food while he's sitting down. And to be honest, to know when to take a break. I think that is something that we all suffer from and we don't know, and we always want to overachieve and overdo, but it's okay to take a break. It's okay to sit down and it's okay to relax. And this basically gives us a rundown of what we do when we go into someone's home. We want to thank John very much for letting us into his home.
He's got a beautiful home.
Right? And now Sydney is going to show you what the things that we did in John's house, what they really look like in the real world and in pictures. Go ahead, Sydney.
Thank you, Claudia. So this at a very high level looks like a great safety evaluation that was performed by one of our safety or occupational therapists that go out and evaluate your home. But while it's all animated, it's important to also see what the products look installed and installed per ADA guidelines, right? So we created low-cost, high-impact solutions that we share with our community, especially our low-income community, like I mentioned earlier, that have no choice but to age in place, right? So I always like to focus on high traction areas, which usually is the master bedroom, the master bathroom when we're doing our evaluations, because that's really where a lot of our aging populations like to reside. So on the top left corner, you're going to see the beautiful handheld shower wand that Claudia was mentioning earlier, making sure that the suction cup is sitting at arm's reach, right? So our independent seniors are not reaching for it or being proactive. We're trying to be proactive with the fall and making sure we're not reaching up high. That could maybe cause a fall in the future, right? So a shower wand, again, low cost, high impact solution, especially in a wet environment like the shower. The next picture to the right is our ADA height toilet, right? With the 3-inch rise and the toilet rail and riser that Claudia mentioned earlier. Not only does it hold up to 300 pounds, but it keeps them safe on the transition from standing up and sitting down for toileting purposes, right? So, and again, it doesn't look like a hospital system, right? It doesn't look like a healthcare. It's your home. You want to take pride in your home. So creating these low-cost solutions to successfully age in place, especially in the bathroom, is a priority, right? So another non-negotiable for me would always be the infamous grab bar, right? Everybody should have grab bars here on the bottom right corner. Per ADA guidelines, it should be installed anywhere between 33 to 36 inches off the floor or subfloor. So making sure that it's installed per ADA guidelines and you're using the right anchors to install it as well. All right, so grab bars, toilets, an ADA height toilet and a shower wand should be at a very basic at the fundamentals to successfully age in place, okay? The motion sensor lighting that Claudia was mentioning here, it's a on the first row, picture in. That is what the motion sensor lighting looks like when you're transitioning from, let's say, the master bedroom into the master bathroom. Now this is always a treat, right? This is nice to not have to look for the switch and stuff, but is it a priority while we age in place? No, it's not. You could always put on a switch, turn off a light switch, but again, it's just being proactive in the fall, right? Now we could install anything you want, right? All the grab bars that you want throughout the home, but without access into a home, right? The conversation is mute. So to successfully age in place, we have to make sure that there's access not only in the front door when you're going in and out of in and out of your home to combat social isolation, to get to your doctor's appointments, but into that bathroom, right? We're going to be using that bathroom on a daily basis. It is a wet environment, and if you do not have the access to get in and out of the bathroom, then the conversation is mute. I don't care how many grab bars you put in there. I don't care how much lighting you have. You need access into the door. So in this patient's home, we expanded that doorway from a 28-inch door and we expanded it to 32 inches. And then it gave our patient free range of motion in and out of the master bathroom and the master bedroom, okay? Bed rails are also a very low cost, high impact solution. Not only should it fall at the hip, right? To make sure that our patients don't feel entrapped. There should always be a caregiver latch as well, making sure that the caregiver can easily get access into their loved one, right? If they're for bathing or if they're recovering, they're coming out of rehab, not only will it help prevent the fall in the middle of the night, like Claudia said, but it really is going to help them leverage their weight up and down to sitting up position. So bed rail, again, a great solution. These are some of our technicians happily installing a wheelchair ramp in a modular home. Every home is different. There are aging populations, at least here in Florida, live in condominiums. Some live in mobile homes. Some live in big family homes. Like everybody is and has different living situations. But again, without access in and out of the home, the conversation is mute. So making sure that whether it's a mobile home or a condominium or a single family home, there is a threshold ramp or a wheelchair ramp that could easily get them in and out of the home, right? That is, again, a non-negotiable for me. Like we need access into the home. Earlier, I mentioned bathrooms and high traction areas, making sure that bathroom safety is at the core of what we do here, and that's where most falls happen. So I'm going to give you options on what that looks like and how to keep your bathroom safe to successfully age in place. Being a CAP certified technician, they teach you a lot about universal living, right? Universal living really is just a fancy word of how do we all age in place comfortably? Like for instance, I have two small children. My small children and grandma and me all comfortably live in one home. How do we create a space that everybody can use it and it's functional and safe? So here I'm going to show you and showcase for you 3 different options for 3 different tiers of solutions for fall prevention and successful aging in place. We modify a lot of homes for our low-income families, so my heart is always with our low-income families because they are not aging in place, they are stuck in place. So for a lot of our aging population, we, especially for our low-income families, we always do a lot of tub cuts. That's a picture on the very far left. Now, while it's not the most aesthetically pleasing thing, it is functional, it is low cost, and it is a high impact solution for our aging population, especially for our smaller bathrooms, okay? So that would be like tier 1, right? Like the most cost-effective way to age in place if you were on a budget. The next tier up would be a fiberglass shower that is pictured in the middle, right? And what is that? It's a roll-in shower with a 1/4 inch entry, right? That is going to offer full accessibility for anyone, regardless of age. It could be somebody with a mobility device. It could be somebody that is a toddler, right? And universal living and aging in place. Anybody could use the shower and you could easily roll in and out. That would be the next tier up. And as you can see from the roll-in shower, there are the grab bars that we mentioned earlier, the shower wands, making sure that there's a light. I don't know, you can't see the can light there, but there is light shining down below, right? Because as we age, our eyes become less flexible. So making sure that there's proper lighting throughout the home is also crucial in home safety and aging in place. Then the fanciest version, I say, is converting that tub to walk-in shower conversion, right? This was a tub that we converted into a walk-in shower. As you can tell, there's anti-slip mosaic at the very bottom. There's beautiful tile. We've got luxury grab bars in there. But we could also do this for curbless showers, right? If there's somebody that needs a wheelchair, is a wheelchair bound, then we would create a curbless shower without the 3-inch lip. Okay, then we put the toilet rail and riser, grab bars at entry and back wall, and really create a space that is functional, beautiful, and safe. Okay. I hope this gave everyone in our community different options and solutions on how to successfully age in place. And now I will hand it over to Claudia to make sure we go over our Amazon finds. Claudia?
So this is everybody's favorite slide. I am going to give you a few seconds as I talk for you to take out your phones and take a picture of this slide. These are solutions that you can use today, right now, to keep your home safe and to help the person that is aging in place safe at home. First, I'm going to tell you what not to do. So that you see that suction cup over there on the right with a big X, do not use those. Those give you a false sense of security and they deteriorate in the wet environment very fast. You will, one day you're going to hold on to it and you're going to end up on the floor. So please, if at all possible, install your grab bars. Okay, so do not buy that. And if you know anyone that has that, please tell them to throw it away. Okay, and one thing that we'd like to recommend that is great, if you look over here to the left, is the auto cane. It is a lifesaver for the independent senior that is still driving. My mother-in-law uses it. She is 80 years old and she drives, but she has some mobility issues, and she decided that she wants to drive an SUV. And getting in and out of the car is difficult for her, but that auto cane has saved her and has kept her safe. Getting in, getting out. And also, as a caregiver, you need that extra set of hands to help you put your person in the car successfully and safely. The motion sensor lights at the bottom, that is in lieu of the pathway of lights that I talked to you about in John's master bedroom, and you can use those. They are battery operated. You can put them underneath the bed. As soon as you put your feet on the floor, they will light up for you and they will show you the way and show you the path. Last but not least, the Rust-Oleum anti-slip spray. It is a slip-resistant coating. You can use it outdoors or inside. We like to suggest to use it in your bathtub floor or in the bathroom floor. You just have to spray it evenly, making sure that you have a window open at all times and that there are no kids or pets around, because it has a very strong smell. It is a chemical after all. You let it rest for 24 hours. And you are going to have that extra grip on your floor that is going to keep you safe when you're taking a shower. We love to be a resource to the community, like Sydney said in the beginning. And we have created, you see on the right on the phone, it is our fall prevention resource. It is a compilation of tips of how to stay safe and prevent falls at home. We will send it over to Krista and for her to distribute if you guys are interested, or if you guys want to leave your emails on the chat, we'll be more than happy to send it over to you guys. And then on the left, there are a few websites of government agencies and organizations that have very important information about aging in place, help for caregivers that are helping their loved ones age in place, and also about funding for home modifications. So I hope that you guys take a picture of this slide as well and save it and take a look at it. Okay, it is going to help you tremendously. Finally, we would like to thank all of you for your time, for sharing your day, your afternoon with us. It has been a pleasure and an honor. You have our emails and phone number. If there's anything questions that you have, anything that we can do for you, we're here to be of service. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Claudia.
Thank you, Claudia and Sydney, for your time today. If there are any questions, please submit them in the Q&A. I want to thank you, Claudia and Sydney, again for addressing. We got a lot of questions about on how to assess and and what to look for. So thinking about in someone's home, just key highlights of what to look for in the home to ensure that it is safe for us to age in our homes. Again, if you have any questions, you can submit them in the Q&A. I see those of you who are posting in the chat, wanting some resources. Please know that you'll receive a full booklet of resources from the foundation that will include everything that Sydney and Claudia shared with us today. Oh, we got one question from Jennifer. What's the best for covering stairs? So Jennifer, it sounds like you might have some stairs that might be a little slippery. So would love to ask Claudia or Sydney, what is solution for stairs?
That's a great question. Thank you. So stairs, as we age in place, that's why we talked about the having access right in and out of the door. If you do not need a wheelchair ramp or a threshold ramp, the best solution is the anti-slip tape that they easily sell on Amazon, right? It is not only will it hold on to all the elements, right? If it's raining or snowing, not sure where you're located, but it's a strip of tape that has high traction surface. Help me out here. It's an anti-slip solution tape that has a grip. Thank you. That was the word I was looking for. And you can easily find it on Amazon. I'll be happy to share that with you on a separate, or send it to Krista. But yes, you can easily find them. Just search on Amazon for anti-slip tape and you should be able to find it there.
Thank you, Sydney. And we got another question from Mindy. They're interested in tax breaks and insurance coverage for modification. Any information that you could assistance in supporting us navigating sort of these tax breaks or insurance coverage for modifications in the home?
Yes, while we have people in DC advocating for all these changes, we have not seen the needle move too much, but I know for a fact that legislator is trying to move the needle there. I would suggest going into your local Department of Elder Affairs, whichever state that you reside in, and there should be some information about home modification and home mods.
Thank you, Sydney. So Jennifer is following up. She's asking about, I'm referring to indoor stairs. So does that anti-grip slip tape on Amazon, if you have carpeted stairs, what might be a solution for that?
I would remove the carpet. Yes. I would remove, as a general contractors, my first thing is to say is if it's going to cause a safety hazard, remove it. We want to make sure that there's enough lighting on the staircase as well. If there's carpet, you should be removing all types of carpet. Our aging population loves carpeting, but if their feet are cold, I always say put on some anti-slip socks. And those could easily be found on Amazon as well. So the goal here is to be proactive instead of reactive to the fall. So I would remove the carpet if you could financially do it. And if not, then please be very careful. Put in your handrails and on both sides, like Claudia mentioned, making sure that you have leverage on both sides while walking up the stairs and sufficient lighting throughout the trajectory pathway.
Thank you, Sydney. Thank you, Claudia. We don't have any more questions at this time, and so I'd like to invite you to share any final remarks or words of inspiration, or perhaps some key highlights on what to do now to successfully age in place.
Our goal is to be a resource first. So teaming up with the Parkinson's Foundation to offer you these aging in place is the first step, right? Looking into resources, whether it be online. Your local AAAs and your Department of Elder Affairs have a lot of resources. I was a caregiver for many years and did not know anything about the AAAs until I got into this market, right? So please make sure to reach out to your local agencies, regardless of income. There are things out there, resources to help, and your bigger foundations like the Parkinson's Foundation, because they really are the backing to move the needle in fall prevention aging in place. So just, and I always say, like, we have to check our egos sometimes too as we age, right? We have to make sure we understand that it is a privilege to age, and we want to make sure that we create a safe environment. So if you have a mobility device or need a mobility device, please, please, please use it, because we always get a lot of the calls after the fact. And it is heartbreaking to see what the falls account for. So please be self-aware. Yes.
Thanks, Sydney. And just to identify what triple A's means is area agency on aging. And you will find many triple A's, area agencies on aging, if you do a simple Google search and talk to your healthcare professionals. I want to thank you both, Sydney and Claudia, for sharing your knowledge with us today and your time and offering what we can do today to support us to live smarter and more safely and longer independence in our own homes. So thank you all for your time. And please do not hesitate to reach out to us at the Parkinson's Foundation. We have a comprehensive website with many resources that address home safety modifications, fall preventions, and so on and so forth. You can reach out to our helpline at 1-800-4PD-INFO or email us helpline@parkinson.org. Thank you all, and I encourage you to continue exploring what it means to live safely in your home for longer. We'll see you soon. Until next time.